Hi, Xochitl.
Hello,
Hello.
hello. Nice to talk with you again and everybody. Sure. So my name is Sochi Hernandez. I just graduated from CSUN actually in May. So yeah, I'm like fresh out of CSUN. I'm 22 years old. I'm a mezzo soprano, and I got my bachelor's of music in vocal performance, as well as a minor in Spanish journalism. And you'll see later like how I kind of tied that into each other. But during my time at CSUN, I really just had the most amazing time. It was one of the most life-changing 4 years of my life. I am completely indebted to CSUN Music and CSUN Opera for teaching me and basically like forming this established grounding of what will then allow me to grow as a musician and as a singer and an opera singer. And so I'm completely indebted to Mercedes and every one of my teachers at CSUN. Shout out specifically to Dr. Sanarud and Diane Ketchy, two of my teachers, and Mercedes, who's like one of my biggest inspirations in life. So yeah, so I don't know, is that good? Okay, so I will start with my first song. This is La Mureta Nuezo Rebele, and this is the Carmen aria that pretty much everyone knows, even people who don't know classical music. If you hear the music to this, you will probably have heard it at some point in your life. And basically the title of the song is Love is a Rebellious Bird, and this is from the opera Carmen. And Carmen, the title character, is this Bohemian Spanish woman, and this is like her big entrance song. And she basically is, this kind of introduces her, like, this is who Carmen is. She's had a very complicated past. She's, very gypsy like and very free. This was a very controversial aria, very controversial character when it first came out. I mean, a very controversial opera when it first came out in the late 1800s, because she was this really free spirited woman. And she talks about how love is just, she can do whatever she wants with love and with men she has been with, or people. And so it's a very, very complicated, interesting woman, and there's a lot deeper than just how her feelings are about love. Like, what has she been through? Has she been hurt in the past? All those things. And so yeah, so here we go. Si tu ne m'aimes pas, si tu ne m'aimes pas, je t'aime. Mais si je t'aime, si je t'aime, regarde-toi. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, fantastic. Wonderful. I'm sure that was a favorite for our audience as well. I bet there was a lot of toe tapping and head bobbing going on. And you did it so wonderfully.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you for sharing that with us. Why don't we move on to your next piece then, so that we can get through all the things you have to share with us?
Let's do that. Okay, so this next piece is an aria entitled Must the Winter Come So Soon from the opera Vanessa by Samuel Barber. And he's this piece is just like kind of a favorite of Mezzo's. It's ooey gooey, it's very dramatic. The person who sings this in the opera is Erica, and she is the niece of Vanessa, and she's caught in like this love triangle with Vanessa and this long lost love she had. But basically, he, instead of being there for Vanessa, he tries to seduce Erica, and he actually impregnates her, and she miscarries. It's like this entire really tragic thing, and Erica really goes through a lot. And in this piece, it's kind of a foreshadow of all of that. And a fun fact, this aria was actually not in the original opera. Samuel Barber, when he was writing this with Carlo Menotti, they actually went and saw this woman, Rosalinda Elias, and they saw her perform, and they wanted her to play the role of Erica. And they actually wrote this aria so that she'd be able to sing it, and it premiered at the Metropolitan Opera, and it was one of the biggest hits ever in the history of premieres at the Metropolitan Opera. So here we go. Must the winter come so soon? Night after night, I hear the hungry deer wander weeping in the woods. And from his house a brutal bark was the frozen earth. Must the winter come so soon? It is a long winter here. Must the winter come so
Mm.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, lovely. What expressivity. My
Thank you.
goodness, wonderful performance. And our audience is loving it too. We have shouts of brava, bravissima, and we have We have people saying that they love your Carmen, they love your facial expressions,
Aw.
they love your voice, and I think your family members are enjoying how wonderfully your voice is filling their home at the moment. It seems
Aw.
like we have Isabel Xochitl Hernandez saying your voice is filling our home so beautifully.
My mother, well, she's
Oh
quiet.
well, yeah, our families are always our biggest fans, right? And what would we do without them? Okay, so I'd like to give you a moment to talk about your journalistic work and your writing and everything.
Mhm.
And let me just tell our audience a little bit more about the article that you wrote. And oh, sorry, you can as well. You know more about it than I do. But I just wanted to put it up on the screen for our audience. Here
Yes.
is the website for this article uh, by Xochitl and featuring Mercedes, our music director. And so, if you're looking at your screens right now, you should be able to see this picture of Mercedes in action and a picture of her with a previous CSUN cast from 2018. A little picture here of our castmate Justin rehearsing at home with Mercedes on the laptop, and there's a video embedded in this article of a virtual socially distanced video from Swar Angelica that they did earlier this year. So I will put the link to this article in the comments section so everyone can take a look. But would you like to give the audience a frame of reference here for what you've written in this article?
Yes. So, like I said before, I did study as well journalism. I've had a background in doing multimedia. So I've done podcasting, radio, writing, web, digital, and mainly broadcast, like television broadcast. But this last week, I was a part of a program with NPR. I think quite a few people know what NPR is, and it was such an honor. It was just one of the biggest blessings. The NPR does a next generation radio program for young up and coming journalists, and the whole point is we were supposed to do it in March at USC, but then literally the day we found out is the day everything shut down and it was canceled. But they were able to reboot the program this past week, and we did it all virtually. None of us We had a newsroom, but it was the Zoom. Our computer was the newsroom. And so none of us met in person. So that complicated things, but we were still able to pull it off. So the story that we were assigned to report on was to pick a person to basically tell the story of like, how has COVID affected your life? And my, when I thought of that, I thought of Mercedes because Mercedes has really, I mean, first of all, COVID has affected the opera and performing arts industry very drastically. And people have been really trying to survive, artists, musicians that make their livelihood off of performing in person. And so it has been devastating for everyone, and even music students like us who've had things canceled, performances. And so I did it on her because not only did I want to shed light on that issue, but also one thing about Mercedes is nothing stands in her way, and a pandemic, a virus, she found a way, and she is doing the opera in a safe way. She is teaching, all those things. So I wanted to talk about that. And basically it kind of is a way of solution journalism, where in solution journalism we're not just like reporting on an issue, but we're also providing this is a solution to a greater problem, and this is what this person did to solve this issue, and everyone else can use this same model. So hopefully other people in the performing arts and opera industry can read this article, listen to this. It is a web article, it is a audio piece of Mercedes's interview,
Hmm.
and it's multimedia digital, so hopefully people can listen to it and read it and really see how Mercedes is really just like defying odds and breaking barriers and making music in a powerful, impactful way, um, despite the pandemic. And this is really revolutionary.
That's so
And
true. Yeah. So true, and that's a great way to look at it and a great way to frame it. Thank you for that discussion. The article is posted in the comments section, so people will be able to see it, and you'll be able to listen to part of the radio interview and see all the other content that's up there. We also were lucky enough to be featured in an article today on the CSUN website, and I'll just show that quickly to our audience here. We have a picture of our castmate Paulina Tamale practicing at home on her piano with Mercedes on the laptop, conducting along. And so the headline here, CSUN taps creativity to launch historic fall semester. And if you're wondering why it's so historic, you can read through the article and see all the different things that are going on at CSUN. As far as CSUN Opera is concerned, this type of production that brings together so many departments and uh, it creates a virtual socially distanced opera, as far as we know, hasn't been done on any other college campus before. So it's really quite revolutionary and groundbreaking at a time when uh, arts companies across the US and across the world are closed and shuttered. I think maybe I read the other day that there's only one professional company, opera company, that's having a digital production of anything, and the rest just had to give up their seasons. So whereas most of the professional world isn't able to have any artistic output at the moment, here at CSUN, we're doing something that no one else is doing.
Mhm.
So just one more reason for you to show your support and to keep tuning in as we tell the story of this production, and then tune in when the production goes live itself. Uh,
Yeah.
so back over to you then for your final piece, I believe.
Oh, yes. So this next piece is entitled Lagrimas Mías, and it is a Spanish piece, as you can tell. And it's from an opera entitled El Anillo De Hierro by Pedro Miguel Marquez. And El Anillo De Hierro comes from Spain. Pedro Miguel Marquez is a Spanish composer, and opera that comes from there is entitled Tartuela. I say zarzuela because I'm not used to saying the Spanish accent, the Tartuela, but it's Tartuela, and just extremely moody. Yeah, it's one of my favorite genres of classical music. So this, you will see how moody it is, and in this piece, this woman is completely beside herself. It literally translates, Lagrimas Mías literally translates to my tears. So she's just completely devastated at the loss that she has had from her love. So yeah, here we go. Lágrimas mías, ¿en dónde estáis? Que de mis ojos ya no brotáis. El fuego ardiente de una pasión seco ha dejado mi corazón. Seco ha dejado mi corazón. Ay de mí, qué triste y desolada, para llorar, para llorar, para llorar, nací. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Fantastic. I'm sure that was a pleasure for our audience, and all the people who may have been hearing some Tartuela for the first time. Uh, and yeah, people are loving it. And I encourage you all to go back and see some of your comments here. Amazing, passionate, que hermosa. And we have comments coming in from Maurice Godin, our stage director as well, who is helping create some of the artistic concepts for this, and helping craft some of the designs and some of the aesthetic, as well as giving us our literal marching orders when we have to be in front of the camera. So thank you very much to Maurice for watching